Well, you saw from that, our speaker today has quite a few qualifications. Debbie Zimmerman, if there's something that can make her be a better person to share better professional information about how we can improve our life, I don't know anybody else that does it as well as Debbie does. And she does it in all areas. She does it with our health. She does it with our physical fitness, and that builds into our health. And she's also does it with her cooking. She's definitely a culinary coach. So we're thrilled to have Debbie with us today. And Debbie Zimmerman, how about if you come in and join us and in the spotlight, and you can get us started and tell us what we're going to do today.
Well, Kathy, we are going to be talking about sprouts, and we are going to be talking about the nutrients they provide, but also the anti-nutrients, a term that many people may not be familiar with. So something new for everybody, I'm sure.
Okay, well, let's get started.
Okay, well, thank you, Kathy, for that wonderful introduction, and thank you, everybody, for being here today. I am super excited about my presentation because this is the first time that I have dug into anti-nutrients. Y'all are going to have to put up with me and all of my little fellas because I have animated these sprouts to make them come alive. And I want them to come alive because they are alive. They are alive to fill us full of antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, and they do it to such a huge degree. So sprouts are a tiny nutrition powerhouse. They are proof that big health begins in small places. So I want you to keep that in mind. It's going to begin in small places, like a little seed. So this presentation aims to educate you. It is not meant to be medical advice or substitution for you going to your medical provider, be it a doctor or a nurse practitioner or whoever. Okay. There's no MD behind Zimmerman. Sprouts are nature's reminder that growth happens from the inside out. And just like humans, our most meaningful change doesn't start with what others can see. When we change, this begins quietly inside our minds, our habits, and ourselves. A single decision, a small shift in thinking, a healthier choice repeated day after day after day becomes the spark for our transformation. Just like sprouts, our external results show up only after internal activation has already begun. So our sprouts they get a little bit of water and the surface begins to change, but it started on the inside. When the seed, all of a sudden the enzymes started to awaken, the nutrients activated, and life began. Today, excuse me, we're going to start with anti-nutrients, how they are reduced through sprouting. We're going to discover that the nutrients and the living energy in sprouts, how to save money. By golly, we need to be growing our own, or you can spend a whole lot of money in the grocery store on these sprouts, but also how to enjoy those sprouts every single day. Um, I have shown you in the past this book. I don't know if you can see me, but here is this book written by Doug Evans, and it's called The Sprout Book. And in the book, he said a seed is a living food. When you sprout it, you unlock the power. You unlock the power that is in that seed, the energy, the vitality that is in that seed. Dr. Michael Murray says anti-nutrients, which we're going to be talking about, anti-nutrients are the plant's natural defense system. You know, it's almost like our immunity. So anti-nutrients are the plant's anti or natural defense system, protecting the seed until it has the moisture and conditions it needs to sprout. So it's going to need the moisture, the climate, or the conditions necessary to bring it to fruition. So let's start. So once again, we know that it is the protective compounds found in seeds, and they are natural. They are the proactive armor for seeds, shielding them until they're ready to come alive. So why is this so important to humans, to us? Anti-nutrients can interfere with human digestion and nutrient absorption. Now, if we don't digest something well, what happens to us? We usually get bloated. We may get gassy. So when we don't, when we have that interference, we need to really take a change. Well, those sprouts, when we sprout, it's going to help us. By sprouting, we reduce the interference and improve the absorption of those minerals. So let's look at some of the largest or most common anti-nutrients. So the first one is going to be phytates. And phytates are found in beans, peas, legumes, grains, and seeds. Now, phytates block nutrient absorption. And you may be familiar with the mineral calcium and how there are some greens that we should not eat or that we can eat, but we know that they are going to be blocking some of the calcium that we absorb. Okay. So saying that, another one is phosphorus. So phytates are really packed with phosphorus. And for as long as I can remember, my mom always told me that I should never be drinking cola drinks because it blocks the absorption of calcium. Well, that is because of the phytate that is packed with phosphorus. And we know that there is phosphorus in our colas, so we know that that is going to be blocking. Well, there are a lot of minerals that phytates are going to be blocking. But what happens when we sprout, we can reduce up to 80% of these phytates. And that means that the mineral bioavailability is going to increase and be readily available to us. So up to 80%. The next one is lectins. And if you are in the plant-based world, you probably have heard some people talk trash about lectins. Well, lectins are in our beans, legumes, grains, and seeds. By golly, if you're on a plant-based diet, you are going to be living on legumes, beans, grains, and seeds, right? So when we look at, sorry, I'm on lectins, beans, legumes, and our grains. But when we look at those, we know a couple of things. If we are soaking our beans, legumes, we are going to be decreasing up to 95% if we let those beans start sprouting. And that's easy. You soak them long enough for them to pop open. And that usually takes 12 to 24 hours. Some of the larger beans may take 36 to 48 hours. And that's fine to do. What I like to do is just pour off that water and add some more water, but more water to it. That actually is the activation when those beans actually pop open. So once again, up to 95%. And what that does, y'all all know this. What it does, it provides less gas, less bloating, and that is very important for those people who are sensitive to beans. Tannins is the next one. Um, Tannins really start to decline. Actually, at germination, you can reduce the tannins by 20 to 50%. Now, this improves the ability to digest proteins better and also to provide those minerals to help us with mineral uptake. Okay, so tannins 20 to 50%. The very last one is gluten. And by sprouting, we are going to partially break down the large gluten proteins that are so debilitating for some people. However, if you have an autoimmune disease known as celiac, this is not going to break it down enough. You still have to avoid gluten. And we know that gluten is found in barley, wheat, rye, and in some degrees spelt kamut and trical. Okay, y'all can pronounce that one. Okay, so how does sprouting help? For wheat products, it will reduce up to 47%. For barley, up to 65%, and rye, up to 50%. But rye, you are really going to have to sprout up to a whole week to get that up to 50% reduction. So these are things that sprouting can do and reasons why it makes sprouting so powerful. So sprouting is increasing our vitamin levels. It's going to increase the antioxidants available to us. It's going to improve our mineral absorption, our protein usability. It's going to improve gut comfort with less bloating. And it's going to make those all nutrients ready to use for our body. So yes, when you sprout, you are just putting your vitamins, minerals, nutrients, antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, you're putting them all on steroids. They are super, super great for you. Okay, sprouting takes a seed from the protective mode, where it's protecting its body from all of the varmints, and it's giving it a nutrition mode, unlocking its full potential for human health. Now, this is the interactive part. Sprouts are just miniature vegetables and offer the same nutrition as full-grown plants. Is that true or false? So what is the answer there?
False.
False.
False, exactly. Sprouts contain up to 100 times more antioxidants than the mature plant. 100 times. I mean, that is just unbelievable. Sprouts are the most nutritionally concentrated stage of a plant's life. The moment seeds wake up and unleash their stored energy. Remember, seeds are living food. When you eat them, they are living.
So Debbie, what you're saying is that if we eat a piece of broccoli and then we eat broccoli sprouts, we're going to get more wonderful things, even though it's the same plant, from the sprout than the broccoli. Is that right?
Yeah, the chemicals in them, yes, you're going to be getting more. You're not going to be getting as many calories because the sprouts don't have as many calories as the full broccoli. And of course, weight-wise, but yes, you're getting more nutrients.
Okay.
Okay, what process during sprouting makes nutrients easier to digest and absorb?
Fermentation.
Enzyme activation.
Enzymes.
Well, it sounds like most people think enzyme, and that is correct. Sprouting activates enzymes that break down starches, proteins, and fats. This predigestion of starches reduces gas and increases nutrient absorption. Vitamins increase, especially vitamin C, E, and B. And I just want to have a side note here. Vitamin C increases dramatically in all sprouts. That's very important. Polyphenols and antioxidants multiply. So that is really very, very powerful. And it's a reason why you need to be sprouting, folks. Sprouting releases antioxidants, enzymes, and living energy, nature's own formula for renewal. So now we're going to talk about some superheroes. And if you saw my presentation before, you know that there are many superheroes in the sprout field, but one of those stands out. Which sprout is the highest in sulforaphane, one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory compounds?
Broccoli.
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 Well, it sounds like everybody agrees that it is broccoli. And yes, broccoli sprouts contain 40 to 100% more sulforaphane precursor than adult broccoli. Sulforaphane activates the NRF2, and the NRF2 is your body's built-in switch that turns on the protection, the detoxification, and the repair of your cells when you need help. Now, when do we need help? We need help when we're under stress, and our bodies are probably under stress a lot during our life. When we have toxins, if we're in a toxic environment, our bodies need help. So yes, this two is our body's master antioxidant switch. So it's going to turn on when we are eating our broccoli sprouts. And just think, if we turn it on 2 or 3 times a day, it's going to reduce inflammation, support detoxification, protect our brain, and we all need our brain help, and improve metabolic function and metabolic health. The great news about broccoli sprouts is that they happen in 4 to 5 days. It's not going to be this long 2 weeks or anything like that. And Dr. Michael Greger says that he has a new jar of broccoli sprouts on his counter every single day so that he will never lose his supply of fresh broccoli sprouts. Okay, broccoli sprouts don't just nourish the body, they activate it, flipping on the genes that protect, detoxify, and repair us from the inside out. And I want you to look at that cute little sprout doctor. That is what our broccoli sprout does. It doctors us from the inside out. Another superhero, really close cousin of the broccoli sprout, red cabbage sprouts are rich in which brightly colored antioxidant pigment?
Anthocyanins. I don't know how to pronounce. B.
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 Does everybody agree, or are y'all still
I don't
looking?
even know what that is.
Got a lot of bees in the chat.
I know.
Okay, well, folks,
B.
y'all are super powerful. Y'all are superheroes too, because it is anthocyanins. That would be B. Anthocyanins give red cabbage sprouts the vibrant purple color. Now, if you've been in any of my classes before, you know that I always call red cabbage purple cabbage, but most people call it red. What color do you call it?
Purple.
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 You look at cookbooks and it's going to say red cabbage, I promise you. So anyway, anthocyanins give it their color. These pigments reduce oxidative stress and inflammation. That is something you're going to hear throughout this presentation, that sprouts reduce oxidative stress, inflammation. They are excellent for heart health, blood vessels, brain function, and gut lining support. So As we eat our broccoli sprouts, let's add some red cabbage sprouts as well. These are tiny nutrition powerhouses, proof that big health begins in small places. Yes. Another superhero, which sprout has a spicy, peppery flavor and contains sulforaphane?
Radish.
Radish.
Arugula.
Radish.
I thought it was arugula.
There's a picture of a radish.
It's-
Oh, yeah, there's the radish there.
Well, I didn't want to make it too hard for y'all.
Thank you.
Okay, so this may be a new word for you too, sulforaphane. And I may not have said sulforaphane, I may have said sulforaphane. Sulforaphane is a close relative to sulforaphane, and it also is a powerfully anti-inflammatory. It is great for immunity and detox pathway. Their bold flavor makes them perfect for tacos, sandwiches, and wraps. If you've ever had the radish sprout, you will know they're very spicy and hot, very hot. But look how powerful they are for you. Now, we can't go too far without saying something about kale, because that is a superhero in all of our books. Kale sprouts are especially high in which colorful antioxidants?
Team.
Oh, yeah.
It have to be A.
Oh, I need my Jeopardy music.
I
Thinking, hey, oh, well.
don't know.
I think it's
Have
going to
no
have
clue.
to be A.
Vicky thinks A. Anybody else agree?
I do.
I agree.
Okay, folks, it is A.
Oh.
So yes, if you've listened to Dr. Barnard as much as I have, you will know that he says when your greens start to decay, as sometimes they do, they're going to start showing yellow and orange colors. Yellow, lutein, orange is your beta carotene. Both of these are excellent for your eye health and overall immune system. And they contain polyphenols that reduce inflammation at the cellular level. So don't forget your kale sprouts, folks. Now, sunflower sprouts are just fun. I mean, look at this little sprout on the right. Sunflower sprouts are rich in which form of vitamin E? And I'm going to give you a hint that this is the most active form of vitamin E. So if you're familiar with vitamin E, what is the most active form of it?
Alpha?
No idea.
No, I don't know.
Don't know.
I'm guessing Delta because
Well,
it's
alpha
the
is
last one
first.
alphabetically
Delta
in the Greek alphabet.
Change. I don't know what gamma is.
I'm going alpha because it's first in that
Well,
Greek
I'll go gamma because
alphabet.
it's twice.
Okay.
All of the above.
All of the above. It is actually the alpha. Remember, the alpha is always leading the charge, and it is the most active form. And vitamin E, so there's 8 different forms of vitamin E, and that's why taking supplements are not that good for us. But when we get them naturally, it is the best way. It is a potent antioxidant that protects cell membranes from oxidative damage. It supports immune function and skin health. Honey, if you want anti-aging, you want to have that vitamin E on a daily basis, sprouting increases vitamin E significantly. So, why not, right? Let's eat our sunflower sprouts, and they are fun. I'm going to show you some in a little bit. Now, this goes back in history for all of you history buffs. Which ancient sailors sprouted mung beans at sea to prevent scurvy?
Vikings?
Anybody else?
No idea.
The Chinese.
Chinese?
I say Chinese.
Okay, folks, it is Chinese.
Oh,
Mung
wow.
bean sprouts were a reliable source of vitamin C on long voyages,
Mm.
documented in historical nutrition texts and Chinese naval logs. Sprouts were one of the earliest forms of portable produce. So that's really important. Because if we're going on a long voyage, we may want to take our mung beans so that we can sprout them because they sprout quite quickly.
Hmm.
Now, during mung beans, this is going to challenge you just a little bit. During mung or sprouting, mung beans can increase vitamin C by how much?
No clue.
B.
500%.
It is 500%.
Okay.
Exactly.
Wow. Wow.
Mung bean sprouts are crunchy, refreshing, and are excellent for our immune system. Remember, vitamin C is one of those anti-inflammatory vitamins, and that we need to be taking those on a regular basis. They're antioxidants that are going to help protect us, our immune system. They're great for digestion and also blood sugar balance. So if you have somebody or someone, or if you are someone who struggles with glucose, diabetes, pre-diabetes, this may be one that you want to try. Which powerful oxidants are found in lentil sprouts?
Lycopene.
Lycopene and retinol?
Yeah.
Anybody else?
No.
Never guess.
I'm guessing.
Okay.
C.
C, beta carotene, or betaine and carnitine, excuse me. Actually, it is A.
Okay.
So these help reduce inflammation, support
Oh my.
health, and stabilize blood sugar as well. And lentils sprout in 3 to 4 days. Let's try one more. How many cups of sprouts will 1 pound of broccoli seeds produce?
Oh my.
If you have been in my class before, you know the answer to this.
C.
More than 100.
More than 100 is what I'd say.
Anybody else?
I say 90 to 100.
Anybody else?
A
C.
lot.
Oh, you're looking for
I'm
the right
sticking with
answer.
C.
Maybe
Yeah,
I'm
she would
looking for
like-
the right answer.
Really?
Wait,
A? Is it A?
no, it's A, 65 to 75 cups.
Oh.
Anyway, I had rearranged. Actually, B was 65 to 75, and I made it even more challenging.
That's very challenging. I'm
Okay.
confused.
So that's one head of broccoli?
That's 1 pound of broccoli.
1 pound of broccoli.
And that's usually how they sell it. Now, let me just tell you, in the grocery store, those clam shells of broccoli sprouts sell for how much do y'all think?
$6. Yeah,
$6?
$5 or $6.
Okay, $5 to $6. And you can get 75 cups out of 1 pound. So think about if you paid just $5, not $6, but I know Publix is $6. You pay $5 per cup and you can get 75 cups. That's over $500, folks. A pound of broccoli, based on where you get it, is somewhere around $30. How much money do you save? You actually save over $500. You've
Okay.
got to learn to do it yourself, and you're going to learn how to do that soon. So right now you're going to learn how to do that. So what you do when you are sprouting, you're going to take a couple of tablespoons of seeds and you're going to put them in a jar. And I'm going to show you this when I get through with my video. You're going to add water to it. Remember, adding water is going to help the germination process start. It's going to make that seed come to life. You're going to soak it overnight, 8 to 12 hours, or during the day. Then you're going to drain and rinse it well, because we want to get rid of the old water. And we're never going to fill that water up again. Okay. After that, so you're draining it. You're going to rinse it 2 to 4 times a day based on the heat. Here, I keep my house at a normal temperature and I only do it twice a day. You don't want the jar in a bright place, okay? You want to make sure that it is in a dark place until the leaves start out and start really growing, okay? After that, you are going to harvest your beautiful sprouts and you're going to put them, you're going to dry them out and you're going to put them in the refrigerator, okay? So that's it in the nutshell, but I'm going to go into more detail, okay? So just to make sure you are paying attention, how many times a day do you rinse your sprouts?
Twice.
2 to 4.
C.
Okay, 2 to 4 or 1 to 2, yes.
C.
Okay, so yes, it was C. These are your most popular sprouts. You can see the mung beans are very popular. They really do sprout in one day and they're ready to eat
Wow,
3 to 4
really?
days. Really super, super nice.
I'll try that.
Broccoli sprouts, you can get them sprouting their little tails in one day as well. Warning, sprouting at home may cause excessive pride, bragging rights, and sudden salad inspiration. It's something to be proud of, folks. You are providing so many nutrients for your body. It's something to be proud of. Okay. Next question, do-it-yourself sprouts. Which is the best time to add sprouts to a warm dish?
C.
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 C, exactly. Because the heat can actually destroy some of the enzymes and the antioxidants. So you want to kind of do that at the end. Here are a few
Dad,
foods. Huh?
before you go to the recipes, a question popped up that I thought might go to that last slide. Is there a maximum amount of sprouts you should eat per day? Yeah, I don't know if that was the slide, but anyway, that's Sharon was wondering, is there a maximum amount of sprouts you should eat per day?
You know what? In all that, everything that I've read, I have not seen that. And as I mentioned, Doug Evans, who wrote this book, he actually lives on sprouts. He is in a food desert. He actually lives in the desert. And he actually started sprouting as a way of survival because he had nothing readily available to him except for 100 miles away, 100 or 200 miles. Anyway, he had to go to a distance. So he eats sprouts for his breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And he goes into detail about how he does that in his book. So I would say no, but I do not know the answer to that.
Well, and Debbie, I just looked up. I thought I remembered something about that too, Sharon. Gregor says you want to be careful about broccoli sprouts because, you know, they're so concentrated, I guess is what that is. I'm not sure.
Is that the blood pressure thing?
I don't know. I hope I'm trying to look real quick. Is that what you remember?
That's what I think I remember is broccoli and blood pressure.
Yeah. So, this source said 4 cups.
Is it going down too far or?
Yeah, and people passing out.
Okay,
Wow.
okay. How about we'll look that up to be sure, because I'm looking for
Okay.
actual Gregor's website, and I'll put it in the link about the broccoli sprouts, okay?
Yeah, and I will do some digging too and answer that question.
And I also put a
Thank you.
link in the chat box to the book that Debbie's been referencing.
Awesome. Thank you, Vicki.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, so this is a chickpea omelet. If you've ever had chickpea omelets, they are very, very good. And you can add whatever you want to it. This one was mushroom because I love the mushroom. And sometimes I will put a faux cheese sauce on top of that. But adding um, sprouts to this, and these are actually the sunflower sprouts. And sunflower sprouts are so tasty, so delicious. So a salad is very, very easy to make, and you can just throw them in any salad whatsoever. A handful of sprouts can shift your entire plate from ordinary to life-giving. Give it a try, folks. Another sprout salad, just adding it on top. And here is a mile-high sprout salad. You want to have the hummus probably on the bottom and or on both sides of the bread. And then you can put any type of vegetables on the inside, smash that together, and you have a mile-high sprout salad. So with all of this, I'm going to show you some guidelines that you may want to try, but make it your own, folks. So you're going to have this handout. Kathy's going to send it to you, why you want to sprout. But here are going to be 10 different sprout recipes: lentil soups with sunflower sprouts, sweet potato sprout toast. So that's actually cutting your sweet potato in long strips and making it like toast. And then you can put white bean spread or hummus or even avocado if you like the mashed avocado, some tomato and sprouts on top, and have a delicious toast sandwich. A stir in with mung sprouts, another salad, a parfait, guacamole, stuffed baked potatoes, a sushi roll, and then some other ideas on how you can add sprouts to your daily plate. Okay. These are some recommended vendors. I either go to Sprout People or Amazon. All of the supplies that you will see, I got, well, I did get some from Sprout People, but most of them came from Amazon because they do have a lot of stuff. There is my information, and now I'm going to take questions. And when I'm taking questions, but we're also going to start looking at the how to make your sprouts, how to actually begin sprouting. So any questions right now?
I have a question.
Okay.
I've made sprouts a lot, but eventually it starts to smell. And I know that people have said that it is dangerous if you're not careful. So it grows bacteria.
Right. Okay. So you really want to make sure the environment is dry. And so I like to use a paper towel or a, a clean washcloth. I like to have washcloths or hand towels specifically for food so that, you know, it's not going to be used for anything else. And so you want to make sure that they are dry, stay in a dry atmosphere. And
When?
Yeah, when?
oh,
After,
yeah, after you harvest them. Okay, let me show you, and then we'll get back to see if I did not answer your question.
okay.
But
And they need to be kept in the refrigerator. Once
Right,
they
in the
reach
refrigerator.
their full sprout, they need to be kept in the refrigerator.
correct.
Right.
But I do want to emphasize to you that sulforaphane stinks. You know, if you cook broccoli or if you cook cauliflower, it's odoriferous.
Smell.
Smells.
Yes, it stinks because sulforaphane, sulfur, if you ever smelled sulfur, you know, rotten eggs have sulfur, they stink. So they're not, I mean, it's not the most pleasant. These are my broccoli sprouts. I didn't want to start with these, but these are my gorgeous broccoli sprouts. But
Wow.
you can smell the sulfur in them. Okay. So you can't always go by the smell,
Smell.
is what I'm trying to say. But if they get slimy, if you
Yeah.
touch them and they're slimy, throw them out. Okay.
Okay.
So, but that's an excellent question. So let me just put this over here real fast because we're going to start the bases. Bases is, here is, well, I've been using this, but this is a pound, roughly a pound. This probably is 3/4 of a pound of broccoli
Broccoli.
seeds. And Casey, zoom in. Can you see how small these seeds are?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah.
very, very tiny. So 2 tablespoons is all you need to fill up this quart jar with
Okay.
sprouts.
Okay.
And I have been soaking these sprouts. I haven't soaked them that long because I started it this morning, but on the top of here is
A screen.
a screen. See that
Mhm.
screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to help them breathe. And this jar and this screen and your sprouts and water is really all you need. And so I am just going
Empty
to
it.
pour that off, empty it, and then you would want to rinse it just for
Mhm.
simple
Okay.
ease. We are here, so I'm going to add some more water to this. And normally I would be doing this at the sink. Some people may want to use bottled water. I don't. And I have some stuck up here. But anyway, so I'm just swirling that around. And now I'm going to pour these off. And as I do that, I want my seeds to stick on the jar. Okay? Because what I don't want is for these to be all clumped up together. Okay? So I want you to see, and I'm going to ask my cameraman to zoom in here. And let me show you how these are stuck to the glass jar. See?
Mhm.
Okay, so that is so that they are not sitting in water or sitting clumped together. And then, now, sometimes I just put this on a drain board at an angle like this so the water can drain off. But if you want, you can get one of these little holders. You put it like this and you put your sprout jar right on top of there. Now, usually I will have a paper towel in the bottom here just to collect the water, but you don't have to have one. Once again, you can just put this in a drain board or on a drain board at an angle so it can drain. Now, you do this for several days. The first day you are going to see the little leg or the little sprout start coming out. It's going to break open, and that's within the first 24 hours. And then after that, once again, morning and night, wash, drain, and anchor it like this. What I like is I like this. This is one way of doing it. This is another way of doing it. Okay, this is a screen, and for me, it's easier. Okay, so here are 2 tablespoons of seeds. And that is not even one full day. Here are 2 tablespoons of seeds that are grown.
Can we see the bottom?
The bottom are all of
Oh, okay.
now what I'm going to do, let me show you. I should have gotten the knife out.
Debbie, you might want to mention that they should not be in direct sunlight.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So yes, thank you for that. So this right here is going to be in a very dark corner because of the glass. They also have bags that you can buy that go over the jar, and because it keeps it in the dark. What happens, it's going to be, you want it to be that way so it starts sprouting. So I just put it in my dark corner. There's no light over there, and it works. Now with this one, there is a lid that goes on top of here. You buy this as a set. And so it's dark all the time until you're ready to
Harvest?
harvest it. And then you want to put it in the sun. I put it under UV lights, but you can put it in a window and it will be fine. And then when I'm ready to harvest it, I wash it one time, and then I take a sharp knife and I just start cutting off these
The bottom.
the roots on the bottom. Okay. And once you cut those, you just peel that off. And then you can pull these out almost in a handful and see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Much better.
those are much better. What I will do is I'll put these on a very dry paper towel, and I'm going to let them dry out. I can also put them in a spinner, and a salad spinner, a small one, and let them spin. But I think that the broccoli sprouts are too small for the salad spinner. Some of the other ones are easier to put in the spinner. Okay. But that's basically how I do with this one. And I will do the rest of this.
Okay. Do you put that in a jar and then in the refrigerator, or do you leave those sprouts out?
No, what I'm going to do once they dry, I'm going to put a paper towel in here, and I will start layering. I won't layer them. I'll spread them out. And then I'll have several of these to make sure that I keep them dry for a period of time. But I want them readily available, because when I have my oatmeal in the morning, I can throw them in my oatmeal. I can put them in a smoothie. I can use them any way possible. Okay. Any questions on this? Okay.
Debbie, where do you get your utensils? You want to talk to that now, or are you doing it later? Where do you get your sprouting things you use?
That stainless steel thing, yeah.
The stainless steel thing, there was actually 2 screens and then a bottom, and the bottom is under my UV light, but or my grow light, I should say. And then the lid, that all came as a package. I think it was $45 because this is high grade stainless steel. Once again, you don't have to do that, but this is quite easy like this. And I got this on Amazon. They also have it at Sprout People, and I'm sure some of the other stores or suppliers also have it.
I do have one quick question.
Uh-huh.
Can you mix the different sprouts together to grow?
Yes. The only thing that you need to be careful of is how much time is required for sprouting. A lot of these seeds that I'm showing you are going to be 8 to 12 hours. Some of them require 24 hours for sprouting, 24 hours of soaking to begin the starting process. But when you get to your oat groats and your oat groats and then your barley groats, they don't take quite as long. It's only like 30 minutes. So you just have to check that. And one thing I really like about Sprout People, and it's sproutpeople.org, I believe is the email or the link. Their email, not email, their website. I'll get it out. Okay. So one thing I like about them is he has a video for every single sprout that he sells. And he shows you, tells you how long to soak, when, how to do everything, when you want to harvest them, and anything that may be specific for that type of sprout, he will let you know about it. An excellent, excellent site, I promise you. Now, I do want to show you, these are radish sprouts. They are growing at a much slower pace because I started them right around the time of, and I don't know if you can see this, Casey, but these two. Can you see how small that is?
Yeah.
That is just coming out of these two seeds. It's so cute. Or maybe it's one seed breaking apart. But anyway, very, very cute. Also, I want to encourage you at any point just to try one of these, to pull it out and taste
And
it.
bite it.
And it's very, very crunchy, very good. So, and this is radish. What did I say about radish sprouts?
Hot.
They're hot.
Hot. Yes, it is hot.
AC.
This is the bottom of the pan. Okay, one thing I wanted to show you. I got two more, and then I have a little recipe for you. Okay, so this is mung bean. Now you can do these several different ways, but they recommend that you put them in a bowl. Now, this is a strainer, okay? So I used 1/4 cup of mung beans. I put them in the bowl, and then I soak them first, folks. And then you put them in a bowl, and they ask you to put something heavy on them because
Oh.
they want you to have straight. So look how cute this mung bean is, and it's starting to get its little leaves. And you don't have to let them get their little leaves, but they started, and they're delicious to eat, and they're nice and crunchy.
Why
But
do you weight them? Why do you put a weight on them?
because if you don't, now see, this is kind of straight, right?
Kind of.
Kind of.
So it's just the direction that they grow, is it?
Okay. No, they would be very curly. Okay, let me see if I can find one that's very curly. The weight is to help them stay flat and to stay straight. If you look at alfalfa sprouts in the grocery store, they're usually nice and straight. Your mung bean sprouts can be nice and straight too, if you put the proper thing on
Wait.
top of them. I don't necessarily have the proper thing, so I put a wash rag, and I put this on top.
Maybe.
And that weighs it down. Okay. Does somebody have a question? Okay. So anyway.
I think it was just some background noise.
Okay. So here are my sprouts. This is less the sprouts that I'm going to show you in the recipe. Okay. But that's basically is 1/4 cup. They're still growing. They're absolutely delicious. And I am harvesting them after this. And these are very easy because they're not necessarily, well, some of them are growing out, but not most of them. Very, very easy. This has been growing for 3 days only. These are the fastest to grow.
Would you suggest that's the first one a beginner should start with?
I would say so. And you don't have to weight it down, but you can weight it down. But it is very, very easy. A piece of cake. Okay, the last one I'm going to show you are the sunflower sprouts. Now, I am kind of disappointed that my sunflower sprouts are not as big as I wanted them to be, but I want you to see over here how they are starting out, and they will have their little, let me see if I can pull this out. they will have their little shell on the outside, and whoops. And all you do is pull that little shell off.
And
Well,
then,
usually it's easier if it's a little bit older. Let me see if one's about to pop out.
Well, can you eat the shell if you wanted to?
I don't think they recommend that.
Okay.
Okay, but this is
oh,
one that lost its shell, but these will get several inches tall. Okay. And so I have these little containers. You can see the bottom is a sieve. It will catch the water as it drains. And then it has a little dome on top. So as these get tall, these can get taller and grow very, very naturally, just like this. But I keep them covered up with another tray because, you know, when you're doing this, you want to keep the light out so that they sprout more. So I will just turn these upside down to keep them in the dark. And I usually,
Debbie, can you freeze them?
after they sprouted,
Yeah.
I would say you can. I know I freeze them for KZ for when he's doing his smoothies, so he'll just grab a hunk of the frozen and put them in. It should not change their nutrients.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it seems like that's a lot of work to take that hull off. Does it come off on its own if it grows
It
longer?
does. It
Okay.
does. It will actually, it will sprout out. All you do is just flick it off. So, you know, these are still a little bit young. I waited
Right.
until they usually about 3 inches tall, and they will flick off very easily.
Do they sell sproutable sunflower seeds that don't have a shell? I know they have them without shells that have been roasted and
Yeah,
salted.
no, you need the shell on them because the shell is the seed.
Right.
The seed is inside of it.
So Deb, I know that when I do my protein mix, which is I get that from Sprout People, I think. That's Dave's company. And that's a mixture of different beans that all are going to work together.
Okay,
Yeah, and especially there's a little green bean and it'll lose the shell, but I'm just eating those shells. I mean,
right.
I figure that's fiber and that's okay. They're not hard like the sunflower seeds.
Well, and actually the sunflower seeds soften up, so you could do it if you so choose. It
Right.
would be fibrous.
Yeah.
Can you,
But it's softer. It's much softer than what
Okay.
it normally would be.
Okay.
can you let this, as long as they're not moldy, slimy or anything, can you let them grow for too long before you harvest them?
I don't think so, but you know, soon they may have a sunflower on the end. No,
I was
Well, they kind of
wondering-
become like
Because-
microgreens.
yeah, what happens is they become microgreens and then they become small plants after that.
Got it. I just did my first batch and I've been eating them now over 2 days. Very exciting.
Yeah.
But I watched them trying to decide when to take them out of my mason jar, when to transfer them into the refrigerator, and not having, I probably could have taken them out a day earlier or a day or two later. I just wasn't sure how to know when they're done, or is it personal preference?
I think it's personal preference. Now, the only ones that the broccoli sprout is the only one that I have heard Dr. Greger say that 3 days is the peak performance of the sulforaphane. And that's why he does them on a daily basis so that he knows on day 3 that's when to eat those.
Oh,
Okay.
And
That-
on mung beans, I have done mung beans and they keep growing until you put them in the refrigerator. I mean, they'll grow and grow and grow. They're amazing.
well, actually, I don't have them out. I have kamut, and they're still growing in the refrigerator. So let me grab
Wow.
them
Wow.
fast.
I know I did mung beans one time and I was eating them and giving them away and putting them in things and giving them away. And
We're
I
multiplying.
did way too many. Yeah, they were prolific.
Okay, so this is kamut, and it's very similar to rice, but when I put
Rice.
these in, and you can see how I have them in a container with the
Paper
paper
towel.
in there. But when I put them in, they had a very small tail, but um, a
Mm.
couple of these are actually getting the little leaf on them. So
Mm.
that's kind of interesting. And they didn't have the leaf on them before. See, here's one that the little leaf, and there's a specific name for it. I don't know it right off, but you can see that little leaf is coming up. And that is just since I put them in the refrigerator. So they're actually still growing as in the refrigerator, but these are really super, super good.
Isn't kamut buckwheat?
No.
No,
No.
no. Mood is a grain much like rice, a larger
Rice.
version of rice.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Okay.
Deb.
Debbie, do you ever sprout rice? Because I tried to sprout rice and it never did sprout. I don't know if I just didn't have good rice.
Yeah, I haven't tried that, Vicky.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the proper way, maybe brown rice, but no.
It was
Okay,
brown, but it just
so
never sprouted.
so something I found, you do have to cook this, but it cooks in 5 minutes. Something Kathy had recommended, True Root Sprouted Lentil Blend. So I haven't tried this yet, but it only takes 5 minutes for the lentils to be cooked.
Hmm.
Another thing Aldi's has, I know y'all have heard of Ezekiel bread and Ezekiel muffins, but they are made from sprouted grains. This is at Aldi's,
I
and
eat that. Knock your sprouts off.
yeah, knock your sprouts off. So this is made from sprouted bread too, or sprouted
And
grain.
it's very good.
It's very
Is
good.
it?
Also, it's a lot cheaper than the Ezekiel, and I'm not throwing Ezekiel under the bread, under the bus,
Bus.
but
I think it's softer too. It's not quite as, it's softer. I like it better.
yeah,
Not
it's
quite
got,
as dense.
turn it up. It's got a delicious flavor, folks. Delicious flavor. Okay, I think that's all I have to show y'all, but I have one of those recipes. So once again, I'm going to be, or you're going to be receiving from Kathy those 10 recipes on how to use sprouts. This is just what I call a chopped salad, and I put some of my beautiful mung bean sprouts in here. But let me show you what I did. I have yellow squash chopped. I have zucchini, carrots, a sweet onion, a half of a sweet onion, so I don't stink. I have some green onion over here. I have red bell pepper, and then I have my mung beans. Okay. You could add tomatoes to this. And actually, I was going to add tomatoes, and I thought, well, wait, that's going to make too
Softening.
much for this bowl. And I wasn't going to change bowls. But anyway, you could add tomatoes to this. After you toss this, which I'm going to do, I'm going to add some Bordeaux
Vinegar.
cherry Reserva vinegar. This is very, very thick vinegar. It's been reduced. It's by Olive Tap, and I believe it's one of my favorite ones. And so I'm going to
Very.
just toss this together, and I will probably be adding more sprouts to it. But look how beautiful this salad is. Then I can add my greens to it. I can put it on, serve it on a bed of greens. And I can add more beans, cooked beans. But these beautiful mung sprouts will really add to it. And look how beautiful this salad comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't
Yeah.
that gorgeous?
Yeah.
All of those beautiful colors. Remember to put a rainbow on your plate at every meal, and make sure you have some sprouts on your plate at every meal. So this concludes, and Kathy, I got something in the mail.
Well, that's just a little thank you from us.
Aw.
And we really appreciate what you've done today. And she's even arranged for us to have another speaker. Tell us about the speaker in January.
Okay, so this is going to be a regular Kickstart, a Food for Life class. And Dr. Angela Crawford, who is a clinical psychologist, she is also a Food for Life instructor, but she has written a book. She is also a vegan educator, but she is going to be talking about talking to us about the vegan transformation, how it's going to be, how it can be challenging, but how we can really improve our mental and emotional health through this plant-based success. So I hope y'all all will join us. There is the QR code, but you know what? We want to start the year off right. And of course, Dr. Crawford will be there to help us along the way and answer our questions.
I'm so excited about that Zoom you'll be doing, because it's nice to get tips on how to keep moving in the direction we want to go. So I look forward to seeing that. So some of you may have been at Debbie's class when she did it as a Food for Life one on sprouts to superfood. And that one will give you some more ideas, especially, at least I remember this, Debbie, you can add to it, on all the different things. She has more samples. She must have sprouted for morning till night to have so many things for us to see during that one. So that video, if you use that QR code, you can go to her website and see that one too, to give you some more ideas. Ours,
I also put a link to it in the chat box. There's a link to that.
great.
There's also a link to next month's Zoom with Dr. Crawford.
Awesome.
So
Good. And then I put the link to our YouTube page already in the chat. And that's this program we've just participated in. It will be there on Monday. So those QR codes are different and they'll take you to different places, or you can just shave your chat because it's going to have all of that in it too. So let's see, is there anything?
does everybody know how to save the chat?
Good point, Vicki. Go ahead.
And some people, if you're on a phone, some phones don't have that option. But somewhere in the chat box, usually for me, it's at the top, there's 3 little dots. And when you click on those 3 little dots, several options come up, and one of them is to save the chat. And if you've never saved a chat before, Zoom is very, very smart. It creates a folder and just does it automatically for you. And then it'll pop up at the end and tell you where that folder is. So it's just 3 little dots, and one of the options is save chat.
Okay.
Thank you.
And also you'll be getting an email from Chat and Chew that will have those recipes that Debbie was talking about. There's 10 of them that are variations, aren't they, Deb, on that salad you made there. So that will be great. And Debbie, is there anything else we need to say?
I don't think so, unless anybody has a question.
Yes.
Yes, well, I have a question. We make a lot of bean soup. Should we sprout the beans before making the soup?
Yes, at least soak them, and you can soak them for 24 to 48 hours. When they start breaking open, that means they're sprouted.
And
Okay.
You don't have to let them grow. You just want them to burst open.
Yeah. Good.
And the lentils do that pretty quickly.
Correct.
I have
And
a
quinoa is
question.
very fast. Excuse me?
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I thought you were done.
It's okay.
I have a question, and I don't see me on screen, so I'm not sure if I'm showing up. But so I'm Rebecca, and I just did my first batch. I ordered screens on Amazon. I bought a box of 12 stainless steel screens for $10. And after my first batch, oh, there I am. You can see the rust. Like here's the new ones and the old ones.
Yeah.
So I know I can't trust I think the screen is stainless, but the rim is not.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
use mason jar. I use mason jars for mine,
I
and
used a mason jar. So I'm talking about the screen end.
I know, but
Oh,
Mason Company makes a plastic uh that fits on their jars,
right.
Yes.
and I'll find it on Amazon and I'll post a link in the chat.
Oh, I've seen, I can, thank you. I can find it. I'm trying to cut all
Okay.
plastic out of my
I know, I am
food
too, but
things.
some things you just
So I was
have
going to
to.
ask Debbie about cheesecloth, because in a lot of the pictures you showed, there was the screw top with cheesecloth.
Yes, and you can use that, Rebecca, without any problem. And I have found the screens that are on 18/8. You have to dig for them, but the 18/8 is not going to rust on you.
Okay, one more question. I
Uh-huh.
bought from the sprouting company high glucophosphanin. I know it's going to be backwards, so broccoli sprouts and a salad mix sprouts, and I paid a premium for it. Do you know anything, or can you talk about seeds that are raised? It says 3 times more sulforaphane on both of them. Is that worth doing?
I am wondering if they are trying to do that as a gimmick and maybe charging more for it. I just heard a presentation on PCRM on how the industry pulls us in, and that could be one of the methods. I don't know. I am not familiar with it. You know, they may have a superior sprout, but I am not familiar with the sprout that you're referring to. If you send it to me, I can do some digging on it, but and I think you have my email, don't you? Yeah. So just send
And
it
it's
to.
the stainless you said, I saw, I think 312 and 308 or something, but you were saying 818 for the
18-8 stainless
18
steel.
8. I'll go look for that.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
figure these, since I have them, I'll use them once and I'm going to toss
Yeah,
it
you,
because I
you
don't want
can't
to
use
risk it.
yeah.
So
My
these are
first
disposables.
the first group that I got were started to rust, and you don't want that rust. It's a free radical, and that's what we're trying to get rid of.
Ooh.
18 8.
Okay, thanks,
Great
Rebecca.
question.
That was a good question.